Are designer babies a real concern with embryo genetic screening? Imagine a future where parents can choose not just the health of their babies, but also traits like height, intelligence, or athletic ability. It sounds like science fiction, but some of this is already happening. Embryo genetic screening, also called preimplantation genetic testing, lets doctors look at the genes of embryos created through in vitro fertilization before they are implanted. This technology was initially used to find serious genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis or muscular dystrophy. Now, with recent advances, it can also assess the risk of developing common health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or certain cancers. It's important to understand the difference between screening and editing. Right now, embryo screening in the United States involves choosing among existing embryos based on their genetic profiles. It does not involve changing the genes themselves. That's a key point because gene editing methods like CRISPR-Cas9, which can permanently alter genes, are currently banned in the United States due to ethical concerns. So, at this stage, parents are selecting embryos with lower disease risks rather than creating genetically modified babies. Polygenic embryo screening has become more common in recent years. Companies like Genomic Prediction and Orchid offer these services. They analyze an embryo's genetic information to estimate its likelihood of developing certain conditions. The first baby born after polygenic screening was in 2021. While this technology is still new, it is used by a small number of families, mostly in wealthy countries, because the process can cost around $2,500 per embryo, not including the costs of IVF, which can be over $15,000 per cycle. The concern about designer babies comes from several angles. First, these risk scores do not guarantee health. A low score just means a lower probability of developing a disease, but it does not promise immunity. Second, the technology could be used beyond health, to select for traits like height or intelligence. This raises ethical questions about parents choosing embryos based on personal preferences rather than health needs. Third, the high costs limit access, which could deepen social inequalities. Wealthier families might be able to select for healthier or preferred traits, while others cannot. Many bioethicists worry about how this might influence society. If embryos with higher genetic risks are discarded, it could send a message that people living with certain conditions are less valuable. There's also concern about the pressure parents might feel to select for specific traits, which could lead to unrealistic expectations for their children. Additionally, the accuracy of polygenic risk scores is lower for people of non-European backgrounds, raising fairness issues and the risk of reinforcing existing health disparities. Public opinion tends to be more accepting of screening for serious health conditions, but healthcare professionals are more cautious. They worry about whether families truly understand the limits of these tests and the ethical implications. Currently, there are no strict federal rules in the United States regulating polygenic embryo screening, unlike in some European countries where laws restrict testing to serious genetic diseases. Looking ahead, families should understand the difference between screening for health risks and the idea of designing babies with specific traits. Genetic counseling can help families make informed choices based on what these tests can and cannot tell them. The concern about creating designer babies is real, not because the technology can do it today, but because the tools and ideas are already in place. As technology advances and regulations catch up, society will need to carefully consider what is ethically acceptable and fair for everyone.